Let's dive in. So our first question comes from John 4, verse 6, where he speaks of this sea of glass. What is the sea of glass? So I'm going to just number these. So what is God's interpretation?
Okay, so it says, it is the earth in its sanctified, immortal, and eternal state.
Think about that. You have all of these Old Testament prophecies that say things like, who shall abide the day of his coming? Because his coming will be a day of burning, a day of purifying and refining. Well, what happens when he comes? The earth is turned into a terrestrial state. We're told in section 64 and other places that the wicked will be burned or consumed at his coming. They won't be able to abide his presence. And then at the end of the millennium, we're told that the earth will then become the celestial kingdom for us. Did you catch that? God isn't coming down to this earth to take us off to heaven. God is bringing heaven here, and he's going to turn this earth into our heaven. So it becomes a sea of glass in that interpretation.
I think we've shared this before, but the word fire and the word pure actually come from the same root word. So if you want to become pure as God is pure, you have to pass through the fire of God's love and goodness. Now, we actually just saw in section 76 that the number of people who are really going to be thrust out, right, sons of perdition, is very, very few. That God is so merciful that he has different levels of glory that he can help purge people into.
Yeah. So that's a beautiful interpretation for the end. But again, when you come back to the likening or the application for today and the various ways that it can be manifested in my life today, isn't it powerful to think through those words from the hymn, How Firm a Foundation? When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace, all sufficient, shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee. I only design thy dross to consume and thy gold to refine. It's not just, sometimes we get so focused on end times that we forget about means times. We're living a means to that end. And let's focus on today. Today is what I have. And I have control over today. I don't have a lot of control over tomorrow and the end times. But I can pass through fiery trials, pleading with God to further refine me.